What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mike and Ant. I'm Mob Miz. This is Inspector Ant. How's it going, bro?
Man, it's going pretty good with a week one action.
Yeah, week one action is getting crazy. Right now, let's dive into the Friday night game. We had a Friday night special free on YouTube. We had the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Chargers. We predicted not the score, but we predicted the winner. We had a pretty good game. What was your thoughts on the game? Did anything surprise you at all?
What surprised me was how much the Chargers offense struggled. Like they couldn't really get anything going, and it seemed like it was like Patrick Mahomes or bust. And it seems like Patrick Mahomes had to be like Superman this year.
Yeah. The worthy injury, obviously, like first play of the game, going in without already raced, that sucked too.
Yeah, bumping into his own teammate was friendly fire.
Yeah, looks like a bad one. Have you seen any update on his shoulder at all?
Nah, other than he's gonna get like an MRI, but I don't know what the results of that are,
Yeah, I
or
think
if he's even had it yet.
I think that's the only thing I've seen as well. Um, Pacheco, man, I don't know if he's gonna. I was hoping he had a bounce back year this year. Wasn't I don't know if it's the line, what's going on. That didn't look good. I guess they got a few weapons over there. Kelsey, the 12.7 fantasy points definitely is misleading. I believe he had two catches and one of them was like the 37-yard touchdown or something. So that was like all of those points basically, other than one of the catch. With
And I was curious about Kelsey too, because last year he had the worst year of his career, and now he's a year older. I wasn't sure if he's gonna get better or he's gonna continue to get worse. And it seems like he's still continuing that downhill slide that he was on last year.
well, my thing was this: I expected obviously Worthy to be out there, and I expected when Rasheed Rice comes back, I believe it's like week 5 or whenever that is later in the season. I thought that with
Oh,
them,
week 7.
week 7, well, with them two on the outside, I thought that Kelsey would feast in the middle of the field. With them both gone, him back to the main weapon, I don't no longer believe he's a main weapon. I think that if with both of these guys out, we're gonna see closer to last year Kelsey than you know the Kelsey that we're used to seeing. But I do believe if we could get both those guys back on the field together, I do think Kelsey can eat up a lot of the middle of that field with them on the field. But without them, it's gonna be an uphill battle.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think at this point, I don't think Kelsey could be a number one option anymore.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people floating around the idea. You think they make an attempt? We'll get into these other games later. Won't not get into what happened in the game actually, but you think the Chiefs should take a chance, try to see what they can do to maybe swing something for a Tyreek Hill, bring him back.
I mean, they should, but I don't think they will because the whole point of them trading him was that they didn't want to pay him. And so Miami gave him that big deal after they made the trade. And then if they were to trade for him, therefore they were to take on that contract that they didn't want to pay in the first place.
To be fair, contracts are up higher now. It might the
That's
contract
true. That's
might not
true.
be as bad right now. You know, I guess it comes down to how long Worthy's going to be out. If he gets bad news, I'm giving up something for Hill right now and getting Hill and Rice on the field together. At that point, if you could do that, Kelsey once again, I think can be special again as that third option in the middle. But without that, I mean, the Chargers. If I would this, forget their offense. The Chargers went up and down the field on them for the most part. They didn't run. I mean, I didn't look at the exact rushes. I can check that in a second, actually. But for the most part, they aired it out on them the whole game. Like they had no respect for their cornerbacks. And Herbert looked sharp, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, playing like an MVP candidate to start the season. Did you think that he looked better or worse than what you would have expected for the first game?
Now he looked better, and you can tell he's more confident in the offense, not being second year in this offense. He looked more confident. And last year, the Chargers they wanted to establish the run and then pass second. But for this game, like you said, they did the opposite. They actually passed first and then ran the ball secondly.
Yeah, and Johnston finally started giving you spurts of what he could be. I also think Keenan Allen, just him being back, is he's like the comfort blanket for Herbert. I think losing him and Mike Williams at the same time, he had a chance to get them both back this year if Williams didn't retire. But I think losing both of them at the same time really hurt Herbert, and I don't think nobody even really understood that he was developing players as they was trying to win games. Probably overachieved a little bit, but he
I
looked
think I
amazing.
think Keenan Allen getting traded also hurt him because
Yeah.
he didn't look the same last year in Chicago.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And he looked more like himself back over here. But they did Hampton did run 15 times, 48 yards, only averaged a little bit over 3 yards a carry. That's not great. I did think I seen enough from him to believe he'll be successful in the league. What did was there anybody else that surprised? Did you think that Ladd would be more involved, or was you because it looked like as far as target shares, looked like he was spreading it out between Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen. Even we seen a little Will Disley in there.
Yeah, he was just taking what the defense gave him, and those guys are open, so you just spread the ball around. Like you said, they didn't really respect us Kansas City secondary, and they
Yeah,
really didn't get that much pressure on Justin Herbert either.
yeah. I mean, Mahomes looked he looked highly upset on the sideline. He was fighting for his life. But Herbert, another thing with Herbert was that surprised me: the 7 carries or 7 runs for 32 yards. It seems to me, I know I always knew Herbert could run, and he's done it here and there, but it just seemed like they told him to like if you need to run the ball a little bit more. It just seems like he was running it a little bit more than I'm used to seeing.
Well, that was his specialty in college. Like he could run the football. He hasn't done that much running in the NFL,
For sure.
but yeah, he did run the ball and use his legs a lot more. I think maybe Jim Harbaugh sees him maybe as like I guess say a more accurate Colin Kaepernick, where he can use his legs
Yeah,
and throw the football too. So
yeah,
it's the same offense. So maybe that's what Jim Harbaugh's trying to do, trying to get him to use his legs more and kind of open up that offense a little bit more.
yeah. I
And I
like.
was surprised too that the Chargers O line held up because I thought they were going to struggle
Yeah.
losing Rashawn Slater, but they held up pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. But just to kind of break down what I was saying, Quentin Johnson had 5 for 79. He obviously had the 2 touchdowns with 7 targets. Ladd caught 6 for 74, 9 targets. Keenan Allen, back to his favorite receiver, 10 targets, caught 7 for 68 with a touchdown. Johnston got the two. But I mean, he was spreading it out. Hampton caught two, Conklin caught two, Disley caught one, Trey Harris caught one. He got the ball all over the field on top of running 7 times. If Herbert could play like that all year, they're gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, and if he plays like that, he's going to be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, and I think Johnston and Hampton are gonna get better. They also have Najee, who I think get better in that system. And Keenan Allen and Ladder, they're ready to go. So if the sky's kind of the limit with this team right now. They look they came out the gates hot, even though I expected them to win, and I kind of expected the Chiefs to come out and start slow. I would say I didn't expect Herbert to look as good as he did, and I didn't expect their O line to hold up as good as they did for him. Also, I just say I didn't expect him to run as much as he did, but great game for them. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. If they keep this game plan up, I mean, remember I took Denver to win the division, and they did win today.
Yeah,
After watching them, and we'll get into that later. But after watching them, I might want to change my pick because the Chargers look like they might be top dog in that division. You might have nailed that.
yeah, I told you.
Yeah,
And yeah, everybody in that division won this week except for Kansas City. So Kansas City's last place, a position they're not used to being in.
yeah,
Granted, it's only week one, but still, they're playing from downhill this year.
yeah. Well, for people that are not in tune with everything. The Chargers ended up winning the game 27-21. For the most part, they had a stranglehold on this game. It didn't look like they was ever really in danger. There was a couple spots at the end where it looks like the Chiefs could have came back, but they pretty much coasted through the win. So we'll see how that goes. Is there anything that you want to add in as far as this game, or anything about the players? Anything you want to touch on?
No, I mean, I was just curious, like, does the NFL like pumping crowd noise in these international games? 'Cause there's some times where like the Kansas City would have like a false start or offsides, and like the crowd just be going crazy. And I'm like, there's no way they got more Charger fans in Brazil than they actually have here in LA.
Maybe
So
they just
I was just wondering about that.
maybe they just don't like the Chiefs. I don't know. Or maybe they just cheered for everything because they was super loud, and there was like every jersey in the world was in that stadium
Yeah, man, like they even had like people wearing like old Kurt Warner jerseys from like '99.
for sure. Hey, I respect it. Did you see if it was signed? I might put an offer up
Now I didn't see, but they was just had like a wide shot of everybody in the crowd. You just see like people wearing like Kurt Warner jerseys. I saw a Troy Aikman jersey, Tom Brady, some Antonio Brown jerseys. It's like the Brazilians, it's like whatever jersey they could find, they just put it on. They don't even know who's playing. They just go into the game.
crazy, crazy. But with that being said, on to the next one, my brother. I'll talk to you
All
soon.
right. All right. Talk to you later.
Salute.
Salute.